All right, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today we're going to be doing another study stream, another data science study stream. Um, just like yesterday, I'm in a similar situation today where I woke up a short while back, and I decided to do a stream right now. Um, Yesterday it went well, I would say. Let me see if I can go for an hour and a half today, because yesterday I went for an hour, and it's great because like by the end of the stream, um because like I hadn't eaten yet, and this the same as today as well. I haven't eaten yet, but by the end of the stream I'm actually like super hungry, and then I can go and heat up my food and well, eat. So yeah, I feel like I can, depending on what my situation is with my sleep schedule, I can either do this kind of thing, or in situations where, I wake up much before my usual stream time, I can just do my usual streams. Okay, that being said, today I have something specific in mind because this other project that I'm doing, um, I want to be able to create tools that'll create data visualizations on the fly. So I don't have to like create the visualizations. I don't have to create the images or create and save the images of those visualizations. Um, just a second. Okay, yeah. So I don't want to have to create the images of the visualizations. There are certain types of visualizations that I want to provide the tools for, where they can select certain date ranges, and then based on whatever items are within those date ranges, this is sales data that we're talking about. So based on whatever items were sold within that time frame, within that date range, I'll create a pie chart. And on paper, or at least in my head, it seems relatively simple, because I would have to search the pandas data frame for records that are within a certain date range, and pandas does have a lot of good ways to filter out data. So once I've filtered out that data, I can get the unique items within that data set, or within that data frame, which again, pandas, and actually numpy as well. I don't know if pandas is just using numpy's thing, or if pandas and no, I think pandas and numpy both have their own separate implementations of the unique thing, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked. But yeah, both pandas and numpy, they have this thing where they can tell you all the unique, they can list out, they can return a list of all of the unique items within a data set. So this is great because let's say you have, just as an example, you have a data set containing records showing that you sold green apples, red apples, uh, what else, yellow apples, um, and I don't know, tomatoes and potatoes and stuff like that, right? But let's say you have 100 records, and these five items, the red, green, and yellow apples, and the tomatoes and potatoes, these are the five unique items, but you have 100 records, right? How do you identify all of the unique items within these 100 records? You can use the unique method for that. Pandas and NumPy both. I'm going to be using the pandas thing, so I'm going to stop talking about NumPy. But I feel like there have been situations where I had to use NumPy's version of it as well. It depends on the situation. But yeah, I've used the pandas version more, and Yeah, it's super useful because it can give you a list of the unique items, and then let's say you have sales data of, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and that's like thousands and thousands of records. You can use this unique method to run through all of those records and give you the unique items within a certain column. And that way you'll be able to generate a list of all of the items that exist within that data set. Even though there's thousands and thousands of records, there may only be 100 unique items, and this unique method will help you identify that. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to use the unique method to identify all of the unique items within that specific range of records that the user will select, and then I'll create a pie chart. And currently, what I'm planning on using is the count of the items. So I'm going to identify the unique items just so I can generate labels. And then I'm going to get the count of each of those items in this data set. And I'll plot that onto a bar graph. There are other, I mean, no, not bar graph, a pie chart. And I mean, there are probably other ways of, or there are probably other more useful data visualizations that I could do in the form of a pie chart, but like I'm not able to get proper ideas because if I try to compare quantities, not all items have the same unit of measurement. So some items, let's say we're talking about food. Some items may be sold by the piece. Some items may be sold by the kilo. Some items, in the case of liquids, they might be sold in liters. So like there's different measurements there. I'm not sure using those quantities is or comparing those quantities is really gonna reveal something useful. So what I want to do is I want to count the number of times a certain item has actually appeared in all of, whatever the invoices and stuff. And so that'll give an idea that, oh, this product is being sold a lot more compared to these other products. Before doing any of that, though, because I cannot use that live data that I have, that live data set that I have, because that's like actual data. So I don't want to use that data set. Okay, I don't know if saying actual data made any sense, but that's like a real world data set. I don't want to use a real world data set. I want to use something that's provided by Seaborn, for example. Which, I mean, Seaborn is also using other data sets, and some of those data sets are real world data sets, but there's permission for using those data sets. Like those data sets have been provided for other people to use. This data set that I have is not meant for public use. So, that's why I don't want to use that. And because Seaborn provides a list, so Seaborn has a list over here, right? This is a list of data sets that it provides for the sake of, just practice plotting and stuff like that. What I want to do is I want to use one of these data sets. And if I find a data set where I feel like I can do that thing that I'm trying to do, where, I'll count the number of unique items, or I'll identify the unique items and then I'll find the count of each of those unique items in the data set. If I'm able to do that with any of these data sets, then I'll use that. The thing is, I don't know too much about this data set, or these data sets, actually. I don't know too much about them, so I'm going to have to like look at them. There's one here called MPG, which says cars data. So I think I'll try downloading MPG. Is that's what it says, right? MPG? Yeah. Okay. So I think I'll try downloading MPG. Also, yesterday I spent some time kind of refreshing my knowledge of the anatomy of a figure in Matplotlib. Basically, understanding the various moving parts in, or well, some of the moving parts, some of the parts that make up a plot in Matplotlib. So you have a figure. In a figure, you can have one or more axes, and each axis is responsible for plotting one graph. And within an axis, or within one graph, you have various other things like the labels and the major ticks and the minor ticks. There's a page here that shows it. This is actually the page that I started the stream with. So if you want to understand the anatomy of a figure in Matplotlib, look at this diagram. And something else that I feel like I had forgotten, but I remembered it yesterday, thanks to doing, well, not necessarily this, but thanks to doing more research, was that Matplotlib apparently has the concept of, it follows the concept of like a current figure. So when you are plotting, when you're creating an axis, you can set a certain figure to draw it on. And I believe well, it's not a similar thing with axes as well. Can you like set the current axes? I don't remember, because like with an axis, when you create the axis, you can assign it to an object, and then you can just call various plotting methods on that object. So it basically does that. I don't know if in the background it's doing the whole thing of uh, setting current axes and stuff like that, but you definitely have something for setting the current figure, and the current figure is what gets stored in the background. Like in the background, Matplotlib is keeping account of, or it's keeping track of what the current figure is, and that's how it knows where exactly it's supposed to uh, place the new axes. And even other than that, there are methods that you can call directly on the figure to make sure that it gets added to that specific. So there's like a lot of different ways that you can go about setting up figures and axes and stuff. I just wanted to refresh my knowledge on that, because I'm planning on using Streamlit for doing the UI stuff for this little app that I'm making, the data visualization thing. I figured setting up a Streamlit thing is it's gonna be a lot more. I don't know what word to use here. It's just, so I know a little bit about Streamlit. I've made some stuff with Streamlit. My own what was it called? My virtual stream deck. I made that with Streamlit. So like I have a fair amount of knowledge in Streamlit. Not, maybe not advanced knowledge, but like I'm fairly comfortable with Streamlit. Let me just put it in that way. I have some experience with Streamlit, so I was like, okay, since I have experience with this, let's use this instead of going for some other UI library, and then I have to learn that library as well, and like it's just going to waste a lot of time. So let's just stick with what I know for now. Another added benefit with Streamlit that I just discovered while I was doing my previous project in Streamlit. An added benefit is that because Streamlit starts up a web server where your web pages are hosted, because it's starting up a web server, that web server is accessible across the network. So any machine on the network can use the IP address of the machine that the web server is running on, and then it can access the website, or in this case the web page. So this way you can start up the web server on one machine, and then basically access the app through any other machine on the network, including, by the way, phones. That is super useful, because you're accessing it through a web browser, right? So you can open up the web page even on the phone. How responsive the thing is going to be, that's kind of, because like with with mobile layouts, you kind of need a responsive layout. So that way it's able to seamlessly switch between the desktop version and the mobile version. Otherwise, you end up in situations where you have like very small UI because the entire page is getting like zoomed out so that it can all fit onto the small mobile screen. But keeping those, minor inconveniences aside, it is very much possible for you to access the running web app on any other machine across the network. So I figured this would be super useful in terms of being able to visualize the data on the go or on the fly, because that way it doesn't all have to be done on one machine. It can be done through the phone or through another machine as well. I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over again. I don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, that was my idea. Currently, one data visualization feature that I have in mind is what I've explained, which is being able to select a date range, and within that date range, we're gonna get all of the records, and in those records, we're gonna identify all the unique items, and then get a count of how many times those unique items occur within the data set. And then we're going to plot that onto a pie chart. Now, the first thing I need to do is explore these data sets. So I'm going to comment this stuff out. I feel like I need to find the right balance, because like I very much want to. Oh yeah, the reason why I was going deeper into, or well, refreshing my knowledge of Matplotlib was because when you're trying to plot Seaborn stuff using Streamlit, or well, when you're trying to display your plots in using Streamlit, you still end up having to use some Matplotlib features in order to display the plot on the web page. Because I believe it still uses figures. I believe Streamlit uses figures to display the plot. So that's why I felt like completely pushing Matplotlib aside is probably not the best idea, and it's kind of convenient for me that I have some knowledge of Matplotlib already. Actually, I would say at this point quite a bit of knowledge, because I did a couple of projects that used Matplotlib, and I had to do certain customizations in them. So I would say I'm fairly comfortable with Matplotlib. Anyways, keeping that aside, I felt like I need to find the right balance where I still have some very basic knowledge of the inner workings of Matplotlib. At the very least, stuff like this, understanding and remembering figures and axes and how they work together. I need to keep that in mind. I need to remember that. The rest of the stuff, the actual plotting, I'm mainly going to be doing it using Seaborn. But I need to be able to remember exactly what these plots are being created onto. There was also this other thing that I'd seen in the Seaborn thing, in the Seaborn. So we have this page, overview of Seaborn plotting functions, and then there was another page, which was, I think, this one, building structured multi-plot grids. I think this was the one. So Seaborn has the concept of something called a facet grid. I need to look more into what a facet grid is and how it is different from, let's say, a figure. Uh, does it build on top of a figure, or does it replace a figure, or does it somehow work with figures? I need to look into all of these things. However, that being said, Um, Something I'm happy about is that because I refreshed my knowledge of very very basic Matplotlib things, I now remember, or now I now understand what Seaborn means when it's talking about figure level functions versus axes level functions. There was a thing somewhere here. I think this was the one. Yeah, figure level versus axes level. So yeah, these. So yesterday while I was doing research, I identified these three pages that I need to read. They're not in order. One of them is actually like way at the bottom, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because like I need to read mainly. So I need to read because like this is the intro page. This is going into various types of plots that you can do. It's kind of the brochure, right? Um, I need to look into these two to understand how the plotting is done. Then there's like a bunch of other pages that talk about different ways that you can do visualizations and various other things you can do, like statistics related stuff. I'll look into those as well eventually. There's also this thing that I wanted to look into, Seaborn.objects. I don't know too much about this, so I need to look into this as well. And this was kind of like I briefly looked at this page. This was kind of what interested me. It says that the Seaborn.objects namespace was introduced in version 0.12 as a completely new interface for making Seaborn plots. It offers a more consistent and flexible API, comprising a collection of composable classes for transforming and plotting data. In contrast to the existing Seaborn functions, the new interface aims to support end-to-end plot specification and customization without dropping down to Matplotlib. Okay, so it wasn't just this one line, it was this entire paragraph. I think I'd read the entire paragraph, and that's kind of what, like, I don't know, enticed me. Um, and customization without dropping down to Matplotlib, although it will remain possible to do so if necessary. So yeah, that's this is kind of why I want to look into this as well. So I've identified, actually at this point now it's 4 pages. Now it's not 3 pages. At some point I'm gonna finish this intro page as well, because the intro page it's basically it's showing you the various things that are possible, and something to keep in mind is that the various, so okay, with Seaborn you have like high level functions, right? But even those high level functions, they use various other methods. So just as an example, rel plot gives you two options. It gives you line graph and bar graph. Maybe it gives other options as well that I haven't explored yet, but if you look at the documentation, at the very least it provides you with those axes level functions to use. And then if you look at what was the other one called, displot? Do I have that open? Displot. Displot gives you a couple of options here as well. A hist plot, a KDE plot. I'm not sure what ECD is, but it gives you that as well. Then there was another one, which was cat plot. Did I open that up? I don't know if I opened that up. Cat plot actually gives you a couple of, like, even more options. Where was it? Cat plot. Here it is. So catplot gives you even more options in here. So these are high level functions that are using a bunch of these other slightly lesser high level functions internally. So wait, where was I going with this? Why was I? Oh yeah, the reason I was saying this was because this thing it goes into the high level functions, and it also gives you an idea that yeah, some of these lower level functions are used in these high level functions. It's basically, this is why I'm calling this the brochure, because it basically gives you an idea of the stuff that's available to you. Of course, there's only so much detail that they can go into without making the page like stupidly long. But this gives you like this kind of gives you an idea of what's possible to do with Seaborn. So once I finish this intro page, I want to go into the Seaborn objects thing, because I remember seeing support for this as well. Somebody had asked a question in uh, in the Streamlit forum. They were asking like, is there support for the new Seaborn objects thing or something like that? And then somebody had given a code example. I believe that was using figures as well, but you were still able to use this code, like this whatever programming paradigm they have going on here. You were able to use this in your Streamlit app. You just had to like wrap it up into something else after you've set up your code. So I'm gonna have to look into or well, I'm going to be looking into this as well. It seems like a very different way of doing things. Like look at the syntax. So.plot dot add so dot dot. Like this is all one line. This is all one line, and then this is going into this. I'm not sure what this is doing, so I'm gonna have to look into all of this stuff. But yeah, okay. Enough stalling. I mean, I wasn't really stalling, but like enough stalling. Let's download. For the time being, let's download and cache the thing. I have this thing set up here. Right, so I like that it gives you an option to cache the data set. I don't know if it deletes the data set at some point, if it deletes the cached data at some point. Like if I so since yesterday I haven't closed this instance of VS Code. So I don't know if I close this instance, will this cache data just vanish, or I mean, I hope it doesn't vanish. If there's like a flag that I can set where it doesn't vanish, that'll be great. But I like that it allows you to specify the folder or the directory where your data set is going to be cached. So here all I need to do is, what was it called? MPG? MGP? No, MGP was something else. It's MPG. Okay. Sorry, I remembered a joke from this other streamer community that I'm a part of. Okay, MPG. So we're going to download this, and then we're going to print out the first 10 rows of this data set. Oh yeah, I've been refreshing my knowledge of pandas because that other project that I recently started, it required me to get back into doing pandas stuff because I was dealing a lot with data frames and doing various data frame operations. So I had to like refresh my knowledge. Okay, so displacement, horsepower, backup. Let me. Okay, there's a lot of columns here. Is there a way I can open this up in a separate window? Or can I like scroll or something? Because I feel like name is not the last let me try and print out a list of the columns. Dude, holy shit. Like the more I use these libraries, the more I appreciate the the amount of work that they do. I guess that's the best way that I can put it. Cause like Pandas provides you with Pandas doesn't just provide you with ways to do operations on big data sets. the whole idea is that they've created their own implementations of what they feel like would be more performant ways of doing operations on these big data sets. Right, so let's print out all the columns. What all do we have here? Oh, okay. That was the last column. So we have MPG. Oh, is that miles per gallon? I think that's what MPG means. Okay, okay. That didn't occur to me because, well, where I live, we use kilometers. But yeah, okay. MPG, miles per gallon. Then cylinders, displacement, horsepower, weight, acceleration, model year, origin, and name. Okay. All right. Um, I need to see how many rows does this have? Is that like a rows thing? Or count? Count non-NA dude, hold on, dude. I need to look this up. Oh, can't I just do length? Oh fuck, I missed the ad timer. Okay, so there's gonna be an ad playing. All right, well, the ad was quick this time. So that's good. Well, there's an ad playing right now, so I'm gonna take a hydration break. I'll see you guys in 30 seconds. All right, welcome back. Give me a second. I have to do something because something froze on another machine. Right, I was supposed to look up would len work if I just is that accurate? Like, let me just hold on. Because like my assumption is that if I use len is gonna count the number of rows. I don't know if that's accurate though. Pandas row count. How do I get the row count of a pandas data frame? Okay, um, there's len.df, no, len.df index. Why is it len.df.index? Oh, also we could use shape. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because like when you have this is a thing in both NumPy and pandas, like they have the concept of shape, which describes, well, the shape of the array or the data set that you're using, which is kind of interesting. Like I kind of have to remember the concept of shapes because it comes up quite often. Because like NumPy gets used in OpenCV as well for representing stuff like images, and the image gets represented as an ND array or a NumPy array with a certain shape, because each pixel has, RGB value, or in OpenCV I think it's BGR. For whatever reason it's BGR, but it's three values, right, for the color of each pixel. And so that is one list, right? And then you have the rows. um that is another list, and then you have the columns, that is another list. So I don't remember if the way that you set it up is so. I mean, first of all, you have to set up the pixel list, right? The pixel colors list, and then I think you have to set up the columns next, or maybe you have to set up the rows next. It's one of those, and then you have to set up, again, column or rows next. So like that way there's a certain shape of an array that you have to create, and each time I find myself going back and having to relearn that. Okay. So yeah, a row count is df, well, in my case it's a dot shape 0. Actually, what if I just do this? This will give me the entire shape, right? Yeah, so it's 398 rows and 9 columns. So we have 398 rows. In these 398 oh God, what just happened? Okay, in these 398 rows, let's try to identify what am I looking at? So let's get the name column. Okay, that's the name column. Are these all unique? Because I was expecting like some repetitions. I don't think there's going to be repetitions. I think it's going to be all individual cars, right? Yeah, that list is pretty long. Okay, so maybe we should go with some other data set. Is the music still going? Let me just confirm. Nope, the music is either paused or stopped. The music is paused. All right. Okay, great. Cool. Let's do this. Okay. Um Wait, real quick, I just need to confirm something because I've had this issue before. Check, check, testing, testing. Yeah, no, okay, we're good. Because I've had this issue before where, because I was recording some music from my keyboard, so I had to set my audio interface's mic, or how do I say this? The audio interface's mic is represented as a recording device in Windows. I had to set that to listening mode. There's like a checkbox that says listen to this device. And so if I check that and apply it, then when I it basically plays whatever is coming through that mic. It plays it back out through the speakers or earphones or whatever. So that way I'm able to hear whatever I'm playing. Um, if I leave that on, then what happens is it shows up in the system audio as well. Like it plays back out through the system audio, which means along with the music, it's going to be playing that out as well. And I don't know if somehow that's going to appear as double sound because whatever is coming through my mic is being played through a separate mic device as well. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but like I need to go back and like uncheck that listen option just so the mic audio only shows up in the mic device and not in the system audio device or source. What is it supposed to be? I think it's source. Okay, so we need to go for something else. I'm not sure which one. I need something that's going to have repetitions. I need some. Okay, let's take a look at diamonds. I need something that's going to have repetitions, which sales data is kind of like the best thing to use to get repetitions. But let's take a look at diamonds. We'll download diamonds. We already have. Now we have MPG saved as well, which is great. And then let's print out. Okay, you know what? We could use this. We could use this. We could use this. There's repetitions here. Um, let's take a look at the unique cut. What are the unique things in here? We have ideal, premium, good, very good, and fair. Okay. What is the shape of this data set? Oh, fuck. Okay. That's a lot. Holy shit. Damn. That is a lot. Okay. Let's print out. Was it only these many columns? Because we have caret, cut, color, clarity, depth, table, price, and then whatever XYZ is supposed to mean. I think we can work with this. So we'll run through the entire data set, and we will get a list of the unique. How do we plot this? Okay, so this right. So now we have the actual plotting to do, right? Um, yeah. Give me a second. I want to have something better looking on the screen, not just the GitHub thing. Well, this is okay, but like this becomes like a flashbang kind of thing. Okay, whatever. Uh, so we run through the entire data set. Okay, we first need to store the unique list of cuts. Uh, so we do what, labels? Is that all that this is going to be used for? If it's literally going to be labels, okay, so let's say cut labels. Okay, so that's our names of the cuts. And then we want to get a count. How do I get pandas to, so okay, if I want to access rows, so I can access, okay, so pandas allows you to specify, like, it allows you to specify a condition based thing, a boolean based uh, condition for filtering out data. So I can do something like, I wanna access the data here, where I don't know if I'm typing this right. I'm gonna find out when it throws an error. Where this equals, let's say, ideal. Right. So then that gives all of the rows where, or that gives all of the, well, yeah, it gives all of the rows um where the cut column is equal to ideal. How do I'm trying to look for a one-liner where I can store, so like in this case, I would run, and an easier way would be to run a loop, right, for I in cut labels. Oh, I need a count, don't I? I need a count. Cut count equals this. So cut count dot append. We have this. Actually, here I need to change things a little. Here I need it to be I, because that is our label. And then I need to get a count of that. Returns a number of I'm still confused about whether I should be using this or not. Because like I feel like I should just be using shape 0. Is shape 0 even a thing here? This returns a data frame, doesn't it? Yeah, this returns a data frame. All right, so if I've done this right, and then I try to print out cut count, this is our data. This is the data for the labels. Okay, so if I what was it? AX, I think. Yeah, AX dot pi. What did I just do? Let's unselect that and come back here. Okay, so AX dot pi. What was the first thing? The first thing was uh, was the data. So it's the count, the cut count, and then the label. Is it just called labels? Yeah, it's called labels. So labels is cut labels. That should be it, right? All right, so this is going to run through the entire data set now and then give us, there it is. So this is our data visualized. So this is what I'm trying to do. This is kind of what I'm trying to work with. However, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to select a date range. In this case, though, what I could do is I could specify an index range because Pandas does allow you to index. It allows you to select rows based on, like, it gives you multiple ways to do it. One is label based and the other is integer based. If you really want to do it specifically using integers, but if you also want to do it using labels, I'm gonna have to look into how the labels thing works because they have two methods. One is lock and one is ilock. At least that's how I say it. There's lock, which is here, and oh wait, this is not a method. This is a property. I think I said that wrong. But yeah, we have to access this using this. We don't use the method syntax for this. So we have lock and we also have ilock. I've been using ilock up here, if you notice, to select the first 10 rows of the data set, which is convenient. So what I can do is, you know what's a good way to demonstrate this? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to the range that I'm trying to set is for dates. But in this case, what I'll do is in this case, what I'll do is I'll use the range. So let's say, okay, we have like a massive data set, right? Within this massive data set, let's say I want to select between rows 1000 and 2000. All right, so let's print that out. I'm not sure why it's printing out this extra text here. Am I doing something that's causing it to print that out? Oh, this is what I was doing. Yeah, that was from like a previous bar graph thing. So one of the things I liked about Matplotlib, and like I've mentioned this before, that Matplotlib allows you to, it exposes a lot of the working parts of, I think it exposes pretty much all of the working parts of your plot. So like whatever plot has been created, that plot has multiple pieces. And if you, let's take this pie chart as an example. If I go down to the return thing, so it returns this, right? And all of this is going to contain data. So if I assign, actually in this case, I'm going to have to assign what this is returning a tuple. It's returning 3 values, not a tuple. Well, I mean, kind of a tuple, right? Actually, okay, so it's returning 3 values. Dude, I need to refresh my knowledge on how you go about doing that. Because there was a thing where you return a tuple and then that can be like unpacked. There was a thing of unpacking values where you return a tuple and then that gets unpacked. And so instead of having to create a tuple, you can just create 3 variables and then you do equals and then whatever function, and then that function returns a tuple that gets unpacked automatically, or it was something along those lines. I need to practice that again to like just refresh my knowledge on that. Either way, the point is it gives you a bunch of information about this plot. Like there's a bunch of information it's going to give you about this plot. Even if it's a bar graph, it'll give you a bunch of information about the bar graph, like where each bar is, what is the width of the bar, what is the height of the bar. I think it also gives you the it also gives you it also gives you the color of the bar, because you can specify the color for each bar in that plot, in that graph. Okay, that being said, let's run this code. So this is for records 1000 to 2000, or rows 1000 to 2000. Let's see how different the graph looks. Look at that. It's a very different graph. Hold up. There has to be a way. There was a separate page that I could open this up. Why is this still being printed? Is there a way that I can stop this from being printed? Because I feel like it's printing out whatever is being stored. Oh, maybe I could just store it into a variable and then it's not going to print that out. Because I feel like it's plotting the graph, the chart, but at the same time it's trying to print out whatever is being returned, and this is what's being returned. My VS Code froze. Okay, give it. Okay, all right, we're back. Great, awesome. So let's store this into P1, and then it doesn't show up anymore. Awesome, great. So let's try opening this up in a separate thing. This opens it up in a separate tab, I believe. Yes, this opens it up in a separate tab called plots. I need to look into the VS Code documentation to see what exactly this plots section allows. What are the features of this plots section? Okay, this is taking a little bit. Give it a second. All right, this is going to take a little more than a second, probably. Oh, there it is. Great. Awesome. Can I delete this? So I think I can delete this. If I generate a different plot and then I open this up, it's a separate thing. Okay. And then I can delete. So these results are stored. And I believe I can also like pan around, which is great. You can also zoom in and out. Okay. Awesome. Give me a second. This thing is, oh, that's how you do it. Okay. So let's zoom out. Zoom out. How do you reset it? Oh God, how do you reset this? I've lost the graph. Oh, there it is. Wait, so for zooming out, you don't do... So for zooming in, you can do a square, or you can click. But for zooming out, there's no square. It's just this. All right. Cool. Great. Awesome. I need to look into how to reset this thing. But yeah, just looking at this is sufficient. It can give us enough information. So here's what we can do. Okay, I'm gonna set the title for each of these. What is it? ax.setTitle, I think. Yeah, it's for this specific plot. I think it's set underscore title. Yes. So this will be 0 to, okay, so it's not exactly going to be 1000, because I think 1000 is or well, the maximum range is exclusive, so it's going to be 1 minus, I think. I don't remember. Okay, so this is going to be our first 1000 rows. So we'll open that there, and then it's going to be our next 1000 rows. So we're going to do that, and then open that up there, and then it's going to be our next 1000 rows. Wait, no, it's supposed to be 2000 to 3000. So 2000 to 3000, and then we can stop. So we can take a look at the three pie charts. Okay, great. So these are our pie charts. In each of these, we seem to have, oh, backup. It's assigning color. I should probably set specific colors, because it's assigning colors. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think the problem is each time I run the thing, should I sort it? I think maybe I should sort it. Because I think each time it returns a unique thing. Oh, I hit Alt Tab. Give me a second. Or give my system a second. I meant to go to the previous tab, but I hit Alt Tab to do that. Okay, all right. Uh, yeah, I think each time it does this, you know what? Let's try printing out cut labels. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 Um, I think I might need to sort these in a certain way. Because, okay, so we have premium, ideal, very good. Let's just take a look at that. Let's just pay attention to that. Let's change this range. There's our problem. Okay, all right. Um, can I just call sort here? This is returning a list, isn't it? So if I call sort on this, um, is it using Python's sorting, or, I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna matter. The order. I need the order to be ascending. Wait, that's gonna return a list as well, right? Oh, hold up. Wait, if this returns none, should I be calling it on cut labels like this? Like, how is that working? Is it just taking the instance and changing that? No, something's wrong here. So unique returns an ND array. Oh, okay. So the sort function is from, okay. Uh, how do you use the sort function here? ND array sort. Okay, let's open that up. I'm opening this up on a different machine. Okay, zoom out. Okay, great. Now I need to see an example of this. It's just a dot sort. Okay. All right. So in this case, it's going to be cut labels dot sort. And the reason I'm getting an error, oh, you know what? I actually don't need to do that. I think the reason I'm getting an error might be because I haven't specified the access. What are the required arguments here? Oh, I think maybe all of these are required. No, no, all of them are not required. Uh, okay, so let's do access equals 0. What's the error that's showing up? Categorical object has no attribute sort. Categorical object has no attribute sort. That's interesting. What if I call it on this? That's still going to throw an error, but let's see what the error is. Categorical object has no attribute sort. Okay. Back up. What is the type of cut labels? Okay. So it's not exactly it's not exactly an ND array thing. Right, so maybe what I should wait, what is this? This returns an ND array or extension array. Uniques are returned in order of appearance. Hash table based unique therefore does not sort. All right, then how do I sort it? Yeah, I need to look at how I'm meant to. Do I convert this to a list? Maybe if I convert this to a list, then I would be able to. Or what if I convert this to. Okay, hold up. Pandas unique sort. Find unique values in a, because like one idea that I have is, okay, this is returning and this is returning something pandas related, but because I have a toList function, I could convert this to a list and then store that list into an ND array and then sort that array. It's sort of a. Wait, there's a sorted method? I didn't know that. Sorted. Okay, you can just pass any iterable to it. Returns a new list containing all the items from the iterable. All right, let's try that. Okay, great. So now it's no longer a pandas list. Now it's just a, or well, it's no longer whatever pandas was returning. Now it's just a regular list, which works. That's fine. And And it's also, oh, hold up. I need to print out what is in this. Okay. F, G, I, P, and V. That is ascending. And let's try changing the range. All right. Still getting the same thing. Let's try changing the range again. Still getting the same thing. Awesome. So hopefully the colors are also going to be, you know what, I could just assign individual colors because I don't know if each time we plot the thing, if Matplotlib is assigning different colors or if it has like an index that it goes based on, oh, okay, it's plotting 0, then this color, 1, then that color, 2, then that color. I don't know if that list is kind of fixed or not. You know what? Let's experiment with that and see. So we're going to change this from 0 to this, and then do this. Okay. So we print that out, and then that goes in this. Then we print this. 1000, 2000. Okay. We print that out. Okay, looking good so far. I think it's looking good so far, isn't it? Yeah, the colors seem consistent. Yeah, the colors are consistent. Let's delete these old ones. All right, and then let's print out one final thing, which is what, 2000 to 3000. Oh, you know what I could have done? I could have created like multiple plots, but like, I mean, I would have to write a bit of code for that just to like if I wanted to do in sets of thousands, and then I wanted to do, let's say, 10 plots, I could like plot that entire thing just in one go, and it would also, you know, set the title for the axes, and it would also set the correct range and stuff like that. I could have done that. You know what? Let's try that. Because, okay, I need to set a size for the subplot. We could do, no, I feel like 25 plots is way too much. We could do 9 plots. We'll try 9 plots. So it would go 0 to 1000. And then that increases, and then that increases, and then that increases until we hit 9000. Hold on. Once I've printed this out, then I can do the other stuff. So let's plot this. Okay. And then bring that there. So these are the plots. I could zoom out. That's fine. We'll just pan this. All right. So these are the plots. We have ideal, good, fair, and I believe the other one is what? Very, very good. Okay, great. Oh, also premium. So yeah, the colors are consistent. across all of these, which is great. This is great because like this is also something that I need to keep in mind when I'm doing the other plotting. So I'll remember that. Okay, so now we can try doing that automated thing that I was talking about. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, we load the data set. Then we set min range equals 0, max range equals 1,000. Okay, and then for I in, what are we trying to do? We are trying to do 9 plots, right? Here is where I set up the, it's n rows and n columns. So 3 by 3. We are trying to do 9. So for I in range 9, I think the indices start from 1. Yeah, yeah. So then if the max range is exclusive, I need to do 10. So then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's exactly 9. All right, great. So we move this. Okay, maybe let's not change this entire code. Let's copy this code and bring it here, and then do that. So we have multiple axes here, right? Each of these has to be printed on one of these. Let's try printing this out right now. It's probably going to take a bit. I hope I did this right. I think I did this. I think I did this right. Okay, give it a give it a second, dude. It's gonna take a little bit. Because it's reading through this massive data set 9 times. ND array. Oh, hold up. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Only integers, so-and-so, so-and-so. Wait, what's wrong? Hold on, where's the issue? Only integers, slices, ellipses, numpy, new axes, and integer or Boolean arrays are valid indices. So what's the problem then? This is an integer, isn't it? Oh, um, could this be the problem? It has no attribute set title. How do you set the title then? Okay, let's do this dot. How am I supposed to go about doing this? Okay, let's try printing out AX. What shows up? It shows axes, 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 axes. Okay. So each of these are axes. Oh, Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay, I think I figured out what's wrong. Right, so if I'm going to do that, then how do I go about specifying? I feel like I need a bit of a refresher. Matplotlib, multiple plots. Creating multiple subplots using PLT. PLT subplots, okay, I've done that, great. ax.plot, okay, this is just one. Stacking subplots, ax.plot, okay. What if it's a two-dimensional thing? What if I wanted to do it as, hold on, okay, what does subplots return? Because I figured it was returning, it returns a figure and an ND array. The ND array contains that. Stacking subplots in two directions. No, there was a way to specify the plot. There was a way to specify that it's supposed to be. So, okay, what if I tried drawing, so, okay, we created the subplot, and then what if I did figure dot add subplot? So if I do it in this way, I believe it makes it indexed, and so then I'm able to access each of the well axes. Okay, so let's do ax1 equals this. Let's also remove this. Is there a multiple thing? No, there isn't. Oz, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. How are you doing, Oz? And thank you for the hydration reminder and the posture check and the pride hearts. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I will do all of it. Give me a second. Oh God, my system is... How are you doing, Oz? Welcome to the stream. We're doing a study stream. We're doing a data science study stream. I'm working on hi, I'm good. How's the studying going? It's going great. Today uh I'm messing around with Matplotlib. There's some data visualization I need to do for another data set that I have in another project, and I was just kind of like refreshing my knowledge on making multiple plots, and actually prior to this, refreshing my knowledge on... This wasn't even refreshing my knowledge. This was actually trying out, like prototyping how I would go about selecting a certain number of rows and identifying unique items in those rows, and then counting how many instances of those unique items exist, and then plotting that onto a pie chart, which is... hold on. which is these plots, basically. These pie charts. I've been using a data set from Seaborn because they have a couple of like test data sets that you can use for visualization. I've been keeping myself busy and stuff, so better than past few days, which is good. Good to know. Good to know. I'm glad. Give me a second while this whole thing launches. My system is being kind of slow. Oh, yes. Posture check and hydration. Give me a second. Let me get up and do the whole stretching and stuff. All right, there's something I need to open up there. Okay. All right. Uh, just a second. My system is being a little slow. Oh, accidentally hit my mic. Okay. Um, give it a second. The Pride Hearts thing is a little bit delayed, but it'll come soon. It'll definitely come soon. In the meantime, I was trying to figure because I've done this thing. I've done this um in another project where I had multiple plots and each of those no, I had multiple axes and I was able to access each of those axes without having to do it in a two-dimensional way. I was able to access it using indices. Oh, is that what this was for? Because yeah, I think I remember this part as well. We flattened the array and then we don't have to do it like in that way. Yeah, I remember seeing that line in another one of my things. Okay, what if I just type flatten? Is this going to throw an error? I don't think it should. Okay. Subplots, number of rows must be a positive integer, not this. Oh, I passed it a tuple. Where is the code? Here. All right, let's try running this again. Okay, so the flatten thing works and it creates all of these plots. Okay, cool. Right. So if I print out AX now, it's still going to throw an error, but I need to see this. This is not flattening it. This is not flattening it. Sharing axes. Okay, okay. Wait, share X, share Y. That's interesting. Dude, I'm not able to remember how I had gone about doing this. Okay, so fine, let's try a different way. Okay, let's do figure equals plt.figure. Was it plt.figure? Yeah, it's plt.figure. And then in the figure, we create a new axis, right? So we do this. We don't create an axis just yet, right? So that's the currently active figure. And then here we create a new axis. This equals figure dot add subplot. It's supposed to be 3, 3, and then the index, which is I. And then we do this and do this, and hopefully this should work. There it is. Great. Awesome. Okay. So now we take a look at, okay, we have we have one plot out of 9 of them. We need to change some of these variables. Okay, so we need to set min and max. And at the end of this, once this is done, hold up. So here I need to give it a formatted string, which is going to be min to max. All right, so that fixes that. Then we print this out. For some reason, wait, that's interesting. So at the first iteration, it gives the labels, right? But in the next few iterations, it's all empty. Okay, after okay, so min plus equals 1000, and then max plus equals 1000. Right, so then our text each time should be different. Okay, we got the text. Awesome. Now we need to look into this. So rows, columns, index. The subplot will take the index position on a grid with n rows and what just happened? Yeah. With n rows and n columns. Index starts at 1. Okay, great. In the upper left corner and increases to the right. Index can also be a 2 tuple specifying the first and last indices. Okay, great, awesome, cool. A three-digit integer. The digits are interpreted as if given separately in no, wait. As if given separately as three single-digit integers. Okay. All right, yeah, that's fine. Now I need to see why this is printing out. Okay, what is cut labels here? Okay. All right. I'm printing out cut labels. Cut labels is supposed to have. Okay, so why is it not printing out? So we add the subplot and then we set the title, and so okay, it's setting the title, meaning oh god, dude. Let's turn that down a bit. Okay. Oh shit, there's an ad playing. I just realized that. You know what? I'll take a small hydration break in the meantime. The ad is actually finishing. Holy shit. Okay. Welcome back from the ads. Um right. So I'm gonna try something here because I'm not sure why exactly this is happening. Okay, that is interesting. So it is not, it doesn't have this data. It's running the iteration 9 times at least. I know that. And then a equals a dot ilog. Oh, hold up. Wait a minute. I think I know what's wrong. Um, so how do I do this? Because like, okay, I'm changing this each time I run it. That is why it's not printing anything, because there's no data there. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call this df01, and then this is gonna be df01, and everything else should be fine. Okay, there it is. And now it's gonna print out. Yeah, somehow I missed that thing. Yeah, so these are our values. Great, awesome, cool. Um, this is copy to clipboard. Can I just open up this image as like a separate tab? Because the way that this is being displayed is, I mean, it's okay, but whatever. So yeah, we got what we were trying to plot. Doesn't look very presentable, but like the data is there. Okay, for a second there I was concerned because the goods over here were looking similar, but no, this and this looks similar. This is definitely not similar. Um, yeah, yeah. But yeah, dude, we've visualized some data. And now I'm gonna take this knowledge and go and apply it in. Dude, see, okay, this tells me that I need to maintain my knowledge of both Matplotlib and Seaborn. Dude, hold on. Let me just see if there's Plotly support in Streamlit. Streamlit, Plotly. Plotly chart. Display and interactive. Oh shit. Okay, there's support like out of the box. That's crazy. That is crazy. Plotly is a charting library for, yeah, okay, fine, great. The arguments to this function closely follow the ones for Plotly's plot functions. Okay, suddenly I'm feeling like I should have invested some time into Plotly as well, but I mean, it's fine. Because I have the time, I have the time invested in Matplotlib, and I have a certain amount of time invested in Seaborn as well. Dude, it is so enticing. It is so tempting to just abandon these and go into Plotly. But like, I don't think I would be abandoning it. It would be more like, I want to try everything so that I can then make my decision about which one I want to go for. For example, I'm currently using Streamlit for doing UI related stuff, right? But prior to Streamlit, I was using Gradio instead. Not instead. I started with Gradio and then I moved over to Streamlit. Once I started Streamlit, I just never went back to Gradio, and I don't want to switch between the two. I don't want to keep like jumping between the two unless it's absolutely necessary, because both of these frameworks, they work in very different ways. Similarly, I don't want to constantly keep jumping between, let's say, Seaborn and Matplotlib. Or well, I don't want to constantly, let me phrase that properly. I don't want to constantly keep jumping between Seaborn with Matplotlib and Plotly. I want to like I want to try all of them and then pick one that I'm going to use for most of my stuff. And it seems like Plotly is like very feature rich. Um, you know what? Okay. I mean, I'm with Seaborn right now, so I guess we'll stick with that for now. And I'm just gonna maintain my whatever knowledge of Matplotlib just so I can do lower level stuff like this, what I'm talking about, like this, what I've just been doing, where I have to create a figure, and in that figure I have to have multiple axes. I need to maintain my knowledge of that. I need to maintain my knowledge of the fact that, Matplotlib, it stores the current figure and you can like switch between multiple figures, stuff like that. But I don't necessarily want to do plotting using Matplotlib unless it's absolutely necessary. And in this case, it was necessary because for whatever reason, Seaborn doesn't have pie charts, but Matplotlib does. So I went with Matplotlib. Okay, hold up. Dude, you know what we're going to do? Oz, if you're still here, there's somebody. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. There's this person called Gotta Gotcha, and this person is learning Godot. Um, so I'm gonna go raid this person. This person is learning Godot. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. Uh, Oz, thanks a lot for hanging out and chatting, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. Anyone else who might have been lurking in the chat, thanks for hanging out. I'm really enjoying doing these data science streams, dude. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do about Plotly, because it requires a certain amount of time investment, which I I don't know. I'll see when I want to make that time investment. Thank you for the stream, Oz. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. That being said, I'm gonna try and stream again tomorrow. Um, just like I don't know. If at the very least, I'll try to do a mute stream. If a talking stream is not possible, but I really want to do a talking stream as well. For now, I'm gonna go and like make something to eat or heat up some food, or actually, I'm gonna heat up some leftover food and eat that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.